Hello everyone, and welcome back. It wasn't crowns or thrones that shaped them. It was the Civil War itself that forged the people who changed the course of American history. From Philip H. Sheridan and Frederick Douglass to Louisa May Alcott and Jubal A. Early, they were generals, writers, soldiers, and spies, carrying both the glory and the tragedy of a blazing era. Based on official historical records and enhanced with advanced AI reconstruction, these faces return to us, vivid, haunting, and real. Who do you want to meet next? Let us know in the comments. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Number 1. Philip H. Sheridan, 1831-1888, was one of the Union's most prominent generals during the American Civil War, renowned for his scorched earth tactics in the Shenandoah Valley and his decisive role in the Appomattox Campaign, which led to Lee's surrender. He helped secure Union victory. After the war, he led brutal campaigns against Native American tribes across the Great Plains. Sheridan's name is tied to Northern triumph, but also to controversy over his harsh policies toward indigenous peoples. Number 2, John A. Logan, 1826-1886, was a controversial American general and politician known for his shifting loyalties. Once a conservative Southern Democrat, he became a staunch Union supporter and a key military leader in the Western campaigns. Logan helped establish Memorial Day and served as a powerful Republican senator. Though criticized as a political opportunist, he was praised for his fiery speeches, deep patriotism, and ability to rally the public during times of national crisis. Number 3. Lew Wallace, 1827-1905, was a Union general, diplomat, and novelist best known for writing Ben-Hur. During the Civil War, he was blamed for a late arrival at the Battle of Shiloh, tarnishing his military reputation. He later redeemed himself by defending Cincinnati and serving as governor of New Mexico Territory. Though controversial as a commander, Wallace earned admiration for his independent thinking, literary talent, and ability to bridge war, politics, and art in a uniquely American legacy. Number 4. Fitzjohn Porter, 1822-1901, was a Union general in the American Civil War, remembered as much for controversy as for command. After the Second Battle of Bull Run, he was court-martialed for disobedience and dismissed a major wartime scandal. Yet, after a long campaign to clear his name, Porter was officially exonerated in 1886. His legacy reflects not just military skill, but also the cost of misjudgment, the fight for justice, and the slow process of restoring a soldier's honor. Number 5. William Rosecrans, 1819-1898, was a prominent Union general during the American Civil War. Originally trained as a military engineer, celebrated for his victories at Stones River and Taloma, his reputation collapsed after the disastrous defeat at Chickamauga. After the war, he served as a congressman and briefly as acting Secretary of War, where he sparked controversy by approving brutal campaigns against Native American tribes. His life reflects the tragic tension between idealism, ambition, and power in both war and politics. Number 6. John C. Frémont, 1813-1890, was an explorer, Union general, and controversial political figure in American history. Known as the Pathfinder, he led major expeditions that opened the American West. However, his role in the conquest of California and unauthorized executions during wartime drew heavy criticism. Later, he became the first Republican presidential candidate in 1856. Frémont's legacy is a complex blend of visionary ambition, flawed leadership, and the tensions between frontier glory and political overreach. Number 7. David Dixon Porter, 1813-1891. Son of naval legend. David Porter was one of the Union's most accomplished naval officers. He played a major role in the campaigns at New Orleans, Vicksburg, and Fort Fizer, and helped modernize the U.S. Navy. However, his involvement in the brutal suppression of the Navajo during the Bosque Redondo period and his harsh stance toward Native communities drew sharp criticism. Porter's legacy reflects the moral contradictions of his era. Union hero to some, architect of cultural destruction to others. Number 8. Frederick Douglass, 1818-1895, was a towering figure in the fight to abolish slavery in America. After escaping bondage, he rose to fame as a brilliant orator and reformer. During the Civil War, Douglass met with President Lincoln multiple times to advocate for the enlistment and fair treatment of black soldiers. He later wrote, "It was the first time I was treated as a man." After the war, he continued to champion voting rights and racial equality across the nation. Number 9. Robert Smalls, 1839 to 1915 is a black American hero of the Civil War. Born into slavery in South Carolina, he famously commandeered the Confederate ship Planter in 1862, sailing it to Union lines with his family and crew, hailed for his bravery. Smalls joined the Union Navy and became a symbol of liberation. After the war, he served as a U.S. congressman fighting for black rights during the turbulent and often hostile Reconstruction era. Number 10. Louisa May Alcott, 1832–1888, was a celebrated author and a volunteer nurse during the American Civil War, stationed in a makeshift hospital in Washington. She cared for wounded soldiers, an experience that deeply marked her and inspired her early work, Hospital Sketches. After the war, she gained literary fame with Little Women, a novel that shaped generations. Alcott was also a committed advocate for women's rights and social justice, using both her pen and her voice to fight for equality. Number 11. Richard S. Ewell, 1817–1872, was a Confederate general who succeeded Stonewall Jackson after his death. Though he fought bravely at Cedar Mountain and Second Bull Run, Ewell faced lasting criticism for his failure to seize Cemetery Hill on the first day of Gettysburg, a pivotal moment in his career. Known for his loyalty and eccentric mannerisms, he faded from public life after the war. His legacy remains that of a courageous soldier burdened by one historic hesitation. Number 12. Belle Boyd, 1844–1900, was one of the most infamous female spies of the Confederate South during the American Civil War. At just 17, she carried intelligence to Stonewall Jackson, repeatedly risking her life behind enemy lines, both celebrated and criticized. She was dubbed the Southern Mata Hari and later accused of embellishing her legacy. After the war, she wrote memoirs, toured as a speaker, and performed on stage. Her life blurred the lines between legend, adventure, and controversy. Number 13. Edmund Kirby Smith, 1824–1893, was one of the highest-ranking Confederate generals in the American Civil War, commanding the vast Trans-Mississippi Department. His authority stretched across Texas, Arkansas, and most of Louisiana. And after the Mississippi River was lost, he operated almost like a separate Confederate government in the West. Smith was the last full general to surrender in 1865. After the war, he became a professor, but drew criticism for never renouncing the Southern cause. He once led. Number 14. Jubal A. Early 1816–1894 was a Confederate general known for bold campaigns in the Shenandoah Valley and a near threat to Washington, D.C. In 1864, a staunch ally of Robert E. Lee, Early faced harsh criticism after the defeat at Cedar Creek. After the war, he went into exile and became a leading voice in the Lost Cause movement, glorifying the Confederacy and blaming others for its fall. His legacy remains controversial in discussions of Civil War memory. Number 15. Stephen D. Lee, 1833–1908, was the youngest Confederate lieutenant general during the Civil War. He fought at Vicksburg and was forced to surrender with tens of thousands of troops in 1863, a major strategic loss for the South. After the war, he became the first president of Mississippi State University, helping shape Southern education. However, Lee also played a key role in promoting the Lost Cause narrative, making his legacy a complex mix of leadership, memory, and enduring controversy. Number 16. William Barksdale, 1821–1863, was a fiery Confederate general known for his fierce loyalty and battlefield aggression. A former U.S. congressman, he resigned his seat to join the Southern cause. At Gettysburg, he led a dramatic charge during the second day of battle, but was mortally wounded and died shortly afterward. His death became a poignant symbol of Confederate sacrifice, honored by some, questioned by others, reflecting the passion and controversy surrounding the leaders of the Lost Cause. Number 17. William Mann, 1826–1895, was a Confederate general best known for leading the counterattack at the Battle of the Crater during the Civil War. After the conflict, he surprised many by becoming a progressive political leader heading Virginia's Readjuster Party, a biracial coalition that pushed for public school reform and debt relief. Mann's legacy is deeply complex. a Southern officer who later championed black political participation. His life challenges simple narratives of post-war identity and continues to spark debate among historians. Number 18. Harry T. Hayes, 1820–1876, was a Confederate general who commanded the famed Louisiana Brigade. He led his men through fierce battles at Antietam, Fredericksburg, and Gettysburg, where his troops suffered heavy losses in the failed assault on Cemetery Hill. Known for his bold spirit and strict discipline, Hayes ultimately surrendered with the Confederate forces in 1865. After the war, he served as sheriff of New Orleans, but avoided politics. His legacy blends valor, tragedy, and the deep divisions of Civil War memory. Number 19. Bushrod Johnson, 1817–1880, was a Confederate general who saw action at Fort Donelson, Chickamauga, and Petersburg. Though he played key roles in early Southern victories, he suffered a devastating setback during the Battle of the Crater in 1864. A former college professor, Johnson was known for his calm demeanor and strict discipline. After the war, he lived quietly and died in relative obscurity. His legacy remains overshadowed by more prominent Confederate commanders despite his significant contributions. Number 20. Stephen Mallory, 1812–1873, was the only Secretary of the Navy for the Confederacy during the American Civil War. Despite limited resources, he championed innovation, spearheading the creation of ironclads like the CSS Virginia and submarines, like the H.L. Hunley, the first to sink an enemy ship. Mallory embraced asymmetric tactics, including commerce raiding to challenge Union blockades. Though admired for his ingenuity, he faced criticism for endorsing ruthless methods. His legacy reflects the tension between necessity and ethics in wartime leadership. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to share it with your friends and hit subscribe so you won't miss our next exciting content.